Hello everyone, Just Podcast TV is here. Please don't forget to like and subscribe and hit the bell icon to get notified on new content.
Episode 337. He was talking like a crazy teen. It wasn't that Mac didn't think it was a good idea. On the contrary, he felt that Zach's idea was very good and correct. However, he was the boss and chairman of QZ Group. The first thing he had to consider was the development prospects of QZ Group. As the head of QZ Group, he had to consider this matter. Just as he was frowning and thinking about this matter, Luna also spoke. Chairman, I support Director Marquez's suggestion. After that, she elaborated on her own views and opinions. Originally, technology was our permanent priority, but now there is only 1 year left. Who gave us this rope around our necks? It's the car companies overseas that allied together. Why did they put a rope around our necks? Wasn't it because they were worried that we would occupy the market and affect their future interests? Now that we've gotten this year's priority, we need to take over the market as soon as possible. Luna had said a lot, and her words were very incisive. They were like steel needles stabbing into Mac's heart time and time again. He was silent for a while, and then he suddenly slammed the table. Mac's courage was completely ignited. Zach raised his thumb. Mighty old man! He sincerely admired Mac's decision. Not everyone dared to make this decision. He and Luna dared to make such a suggestion because they had only given up on benefits. However, Mac made such a decision and gave up on the most. He even took the risk of losing his company's interests and future. However, Mac still did the same thing. This was the style and attitude that people in car companies should have. Mac pointed at the two in front of him and laughed. With such a young leader in a car company, there was no need to worry about being prosperous in the future. After the three of them discussed, without even holding a company meeting, Mac directly used his greatest power to forcefully push the hydrogen energy system. All the cars that were developing and waiting to be developed stopped and drove all the power to develop the hydrogen energy car. At the same time, he also called the companies in the country personally to call all the powerful car companies over. The next morning, in the meeting room of QZ Group, Mac talked to these big shots about the sharing of the hydrogen power system. I, Mac, am not a fool. Oh, the QZ is not a fool either. We know how much market share and profit this hydrogen energy system will bring us. But in this year's priority period, we shouldn't be thinking about how to take over the market share. Instead, we should work together with everyone here to develop this hydrogen power system's vehicles in large quantities. Promote the market across the country. What we are doing is not snatching our own share. For this, I, Mac, as the chairman of QZ Group, declare that we, QZ, will share the hydrogen energy system with all of you for free. And there will be no additional conditions. Mac's announcement stunned everyone present. It was not that they did not know what kind of impact the hydrogen power system would bring to the market, nor did they not know what kind of benefits the system would bring. Although it was only a short 1 year, the impact of new and excellent products on the market was already long enough. 1 year was enough to kill them to their heart's content. However, Mac did not do that. Instead, he chose to put the knife down in his hand. Episode 338. It's totally worth it. Everyone applauded Mac's righteous action. But at this moment, Mac stretched out his hand and beckoned to Zach. It's not my righteousness. It's Director Marquez's righteousness. The hydrogen power system was Zach's. If Mac wanted to share it, he would need Zach's permission first. After all, the patent after the global announcement was in Zach's hands. If Zach did not agree, no matter how happy they were, it would be useless. When they heard that the one who suggested it was Zach, and the one who gave up all the profits was also Zach, everyone applauded him. In the face of big and big changes, Director Marquez has made a good example for us. Director Marquez, young and promising, we are proud of you. We are proud of you. Who didn't want to make money? Anyone who set up a business would do it to make money. The big shots in the automotive industry were also doing it to make money. But how long would it take to make money? In the meeting after that, Zach first made his stance clear. I voluntarily gave up Dream Automotive Company's 70% profit from Windchaser Automobiles, which is a joint venture with QZ Group, as well as all the profits from collaborating with other automotive companies. Under the protection of cost and quality, I will sell them at zero profit. Mac followed closely behind. I am willing to give up 30% profit from Windchaser Automobiles, which is a joint venture between QZ Group and Dream, and sell them with a zero profit when the cost and the quality are guaranteed. The president of the QZ Group also made a statement. I voluntarily gave up all the profits from Windchaser Car, which is a joint venture between the QZ Group and Dream Automotive Company. I will sell it at zero profit when the cost and quality are also guaranteed. The big shots of the domestic car companies all made their stand. They all gave up all the profits of Windchaser Motors and sold them with zero profits. They were not selling cars. They were fighting. They did not make any money. They had to fight for it. In the end, at the meeting, the various automobile companies agreed that no matter which automobiles were manufactured from the assembly line, they would all unify Windchaser's brand name, quality protection, and zero profit. The same hydrogen energy vehicles with different appearances and designs had the same conscience. The video recording of this meeting was approved by the leaders of the various automotive companies after the meeting had ended. Then, it was hung on the main page of each automotive company. There was no press conference, but this action was undoubtedly more shocking than the press conference. All the media outlets reported on this matter at the first possible moment. Even the entertainment news would gather the attention of this piece of news. The reason was very simple. Because it was popular, regardless of whether they wanted to buy a car or not, all the netizens were now paying attention to this piece of news. My dad said to wait for the Windchaser to go public. The whole country was paying attention to this car. They were disappointed with the domestic automotive companies many times. This time, they were willing to believe in it again. Even if they were fooled, it didn't matter, especially when the price of the Windchaser car was set. It made all the netizens ecstatic because, with the cooperation of domestic car companies, Windchaser car was going to be listed day by day. Nowadays, there are rumors about Windchaser Motors everywhere on the internet. Some were haters, some were haters, and some were haters. All in all, there were many different kinds of cars. However, most of the voices were still supporting Windchariot and praising the joint action of the company. Countless people were waiting for Windchariot to be listed. They were full of expectations for this car. Finally, the Windchaser went on the market. Episode 339, The Distress of Happiness. Early in the morning, Jasper came to the QZ Corporation store. Normally, the store would open at 8 a.m., but due to the popularity of Windchaser car, he specifically opened it an hour earlier. At 7 a.m., Jasper arrived at the entrance of the QZ store. On the way, he thought that he would definitely get first place. However, when he arrived at the entrance of the store, he realized that, in the first place, there were at least a few hundred people queuing at the entrance of the store. This was originally a car market, and many of the sales stores were here. The shops of all kinds of car departments were also here. In the past, when people were as busy as a market, they were used to describe them. But when they were small, they were used to describe QZ shops. But today, black and white were reversed. The store of other cars had opened its doors early when they received the news. In the end, the parking space in front of their doors was filled to the brim, but there was not a single customer in the shop. It was not easy for customers to come, and the salespeople were enthusiastic. However, the customer said with a bitter face, "I have a stomach ache. Can I borrow a toilet?" He went to the QZ store to pick up a car, but he came to the shop to take a dump. Was it appropriate? It was inappropriate. There was no other way. It was not good to kick him out. At this moment, the QZ store was still closed. It was still open at 8 a.m. Seeing that more and more people were coming, Jasper was a little anxious. There were so many people there. How could he snatch a car? How many cars could a store have? It was not a big deal to have dozens of cars, including all the brands. Windchaser definitely did not have that many cars, so he had to make a call to his brother-in-law. "Hello, isn't your classmate's dad's buddy the sales manager of QZ? I'm helping my brother-in-law out, but I have to book a car. Help me find a way. I'm at the QZ store right now." His brother-in-law yawned. "Brother-in-law, there's no discount on QZ's car. It doesn't have a single cent discount. This is a zero-profit sale. It's not good even if you find Chairman QZ. There's only the cost of the car itself. There's no money to take off." Seeing that there were still people coming, Jasper became anxious. "Who told you to look for a discount? I mean, help me get some connections. I want to get a car from their sales manager." His brother-in-law asked in surprise, "You don't have enough money? It's not easy to take it if you don't have enough money." Jasper really had no way to explain. He hung up the phone and directly took a short video of the scene and sent it to his brother-in-law. "Come, take a look. It's just this scene. I ran away for nothing? Can I run? It's already good enough that I can get my car." His brother-in-law was also shocked beyond words. So, many people are buying a car? It was only then that he realized the reason why his brother-in-law had asked him to look for someone. There was a sea of people, just like that. He really would not be able to get a car. Thus, he hurriedly called his sales manager. It was a roundabout thing, but it was not easy. He promised to treat and also owed a favor to the sales manager. That was why he asked the sales manager to give him a promise. "Let me take a look. If there is a chance, I will try to save one for you." Episode 340. Awesome. At 8 a.m., the door to QZ opened. Everyone swarmed in and filled the QZ store like a tidal wave. After that, the store had no choice but to call the police. "Please come quickly. Help us chase the customers away. We're going to die." Which store dared to call the police to chase the customers away? However, QZ did it just like that, and it was in front of all the customers. It wasn't that they looked down on the customers. It was just that there were too many customers. There was not enough cars in their shop. The police officers from the police station quickly came over to cause a group accident or an accidental stampede. However, they were also dumbfounded when they saw the police officers. They didn't know what had happened. It was a genius who had gone to the police station. 3 people. How could 3 people maintain order among hundreds of people? Thus, he gave live feedback to the 911 command center. According to the situation at the scene, the command center temporarily sent another 5 police cars over. Only then did they manage to stabilize the situation. "We have to stand guard here to sell a car. This is really eye-opening. It actually became so popular." The police director leading the team was muttering to himself when his subordinates came over. "Deputy Director, now that the order has been maintained, I also want to line up." The deputy director was very surprised. The order has been maintained. Why are you still queuing? Don't worry about it. Just watch from afar. No, Deputy Director. I'm getting married soon. I'm going to get a house loan. I originally planned not to buy the car first, but the Wind Chaser is so cheap right now, and the power and configuration are so vigorous. I'll discuss with my wife about buying one. Originally, I wanted to come over to pick up the car after work today, but I didn't expect to be called back by the station at the last minute, so the Deputy Director was speechless. His subordinates actually wanted to buy a car. Was this car really that magical? He was already in his 50s today, so he didn't go online much. Therefore, he naturally didn't pay much attention to this kind of thing. However, when he heard from his subordinates about the car's engine configuration and the zero-profit sales, his eyes immediately turned red. Why are you queuing? This is a mission. What if there is a stampede because of your absence? Stand there and watch carefully. You are not allowed to go anywhere. After sending his subordinates away, the Deputy Director strolled into the shop. His son was about to graduate from college. After he got off work, he also needed a car to drive. Wind Chaser was pretty good, so he thought about asking the sales manager to talk to him. He didn't want to line up. He could buy one himself. If he had enough stock, he would also ask for a slot for his subordinate. However, when the Deputy Director found the sales manager already had a headache. Don't talk about you. Your leader just called me personally and asked me to keep one. The problem is, I have to have one. In the end, this Deputy Director only managed to fish up an internal opportunity to pay the advance payment. The other customers hadn't even paid the advance payment yet. What about? Seeing the whole process, Jasper felt a chill in his heart. Even his superior had no chance, and he as an employee also had no chance. Sure enough, when he met the sales manager and asked about it, the sales manager didn't even remember it. All right, don't say that you've made so many twists and turns. Even if you let my buddy come personally, he won't have a car. After working for half the morning, the cars were all sold out, which made everyone very unhappy. However, the person who had previously ordered the car in advance was quite pleased with himself. He stepped on the accelerator with a smile.